Alright, back in the browser, you can see our categories are displaying at the top over here, and we can be able to scroll because this is displayed in a tab. And if we have implemented loading the videos over here, once you select any category, we'll be able to access the category from the context and then fetch the video based on that category. So let's handle that. So in order to display our videos over here, let's go ahead and create another component for displaying our videos. So in under command, let's call the component display what? Display videos dot what TSS. So and under display videos or TSS, we will first is we need to actually create another component known as what? Video card. So let's create a component over here known as video card or TSS. And within it over here, we also need to create a function for actually getting the videos. So and the function is going to be inside what? Stream. So let's create this function first. It's going to be a server action that when we call it, we can be able to get our videos. Now let's open server, let's open lib actions under stream, and we're going to create a get video stream function over here. So below here, let's have this, and we are going to take options or ask of limit, skip, filter, and the category that I want to fetch the video. So first of all, we connect our database over here, and then if a filter, you can see filter is optional over here, and if filter is present, then we go ahead and pass the filter as what? No. Then we call video model dot what find. So let's import this mongoose over here, and then we want to skip. So in order to fetch contents, to fetch data from mongoose, and when you call the function, you can also be able to skip. So if you provide that the skip over here should be 0, it will skip 0 items. And you can also specify limit. And when you want to populate another model, so you will call this dot populate and want to populate the user what attribute. So we want to fetch the name and image and username from what? The user. So and then we go ahead and what? Format. So let's create this function for formatting our videos. So let's open our utils file and create this function for formatting our video. And the function is simply going to take our data of any, which is going to be an array, and then it will format our video, the ID, the title, and then it will look through the category and convert any underscore ID into this, and then at the end of the day it's going to return what? The type of our video. So let's import the type over here. So it's going to return what? An array of video. So this is just a simple function that will format our data before sending it to the UI. So let's import the function over here, and then we check if videos.length is equal to 0, then we return no videos found. But then if there is video list, we want to go ahead and fetch all the videos in parallel. So we call await promise.all, then we loop, we map through the video, and then we get Bunny video. So this API over here, we actually fetch the video from what? From Bunny, from BunnyCDN API. So let's create this function. In order to get Bunny video, there's this function over here, get Bunny video. We have to pass the video ID. We have to get it from what? BunnyCDN. All this is over there in Bunny's documentation. Then we need to pass the URL because we're getting it from the stream. We pass the Bunny stream URL. We pass our library ID and the video ID. Then over here in the header, it's going to be type of get. So in the header, we have to what? Provide the access key and the content type. So the access key over here is the Unistream access key. So we check if it is okay. If it's not okay, we return null. Else we return what? The Unistream. So we are fetching, first of all, we are fetching our videos from the database. Then we are formatting the videos to the format that we want to display in our applications. Then we are looping through the videos and calling Bunny API to fetch the video based on what? Video ID. So this is basically what this get video stream is doing. So once we come back to our displays video over here, we can now import this. So this card, this video display card over here, let's go ahead and create. We've already created this component. So let's go ahead and export it. So our video cards, all we have done is going to be a client component, and we have imported use router from Next navigation, use there from React. We have imported some couple of components like card media, the list from the material UI, and we need some couple of functions over here that we've not yet defined, and we also need some couple of functions like bookmark and share video where we have not yet defined. So we work on this now. So let's first of all work on this function of format number. So open our utils file and let's go down at the bottom over here and create these three functions. So the first function over here is to get the video URL info. So remember that each video has a unique ID, and we want to compose the poster URL. So we don't want to store the full URL in the database, but based on the video ID and the thumbnail name, we can be able to compose the full URL of the video. So over here, our video, we are constructing getting the poster URL based on the thumbnail. If the thumbnail includes our what? Our unified name UID. If you remember the configuration that we did like this, VT, I guess it's on underscore VT underscore. We say any thumbnail that has this particular string over here, we know that the thumbnail was uploaded to our storage. So the path of getting the thumbnail will be different. And if it doesn't contain this, we know that it was handled by Bunny string. So if it includes that string in the thumbnail, then we go ahead and pass our Bunny or storage URL. But if it does not include, then we use the default Bunny or thumbnail URL, and then the path, which is the video ID and the thumbnail name. The preview URL is going to be the same. So and the preview URL is going to always come from the Bunny stream. So it's where the pull zone URL, and the name is always going to end with preview.web. And then the playlist, we're using HLS, so that is HTTP or live streaming. So with this kind of streaming now, whenever a user is using a device to stream video from our application, it's going to adjust based on that user's network strength. So if the network is strong, it will use the highest resolution or quality. If the network is weak, it will use the minimal resolution or quality. So this is basically what this URL is doing. It's going to return the URL, the poster URL, the preview URL, and the HLS, which is HTTP live streaming URL, and the video ID and the thumbnail, the same thing that we pass over here. The get relative time, we want to show the time that the user has published the video. So if the user has published the video in less than a minute, we can just say in less than a second, we can just say just now or a second ago. This is what basically this relative time is doing. So we are formatting the time of the created video. And over here, we are formatting the number. For instance, if we have a number like 2,000 likes, we want to have something like 2K likes, maybe 5,000 likes, we want to have 5K likes. So this is basically what this function is doing. So after this, we will now import these functions over here. So let's handle these two functions now, bookmark video and also share video. So the bookmark video and share video is going to come from stream. So let's go down here in this file under our server actions. So this file over here, and we create these two functions. So the first one is to bookmark a video. So whenever a user clicks on bookmark a video, all we need to do is to send the user ID and the video ID. So, and we already have our own bookmark model where we did. So we call the bookmark model if the user, and check if the user has already bookmarked the video, then remove it. If he has not bookmarked, then we save it. So if you check for existing, else what, it will bookmark it. So this is basically what this bookmark video is doing. And whenever we share a video, we want to also save the count of that video share. So we simply call this server action over here and increment the count of that video. So you can see what we're doing. Fetch the video over here. If not video, then return else what, video.shares or 0, and then increment, get the total number of shares or 0 and increment it by 1, then save over here and then return. So this is basically what these two functions are doing. So we import them over here in our video stream. So we also want to show what share dialog. So we create that component, but first of all, let me go ahead and explain this component. So this video component over here is expecting item of what, app video. So the app video, now we create a session. So we call this session use session from what, use session from to/add/call, so that we can be able to access the session of the currently logged in user, if at all there's any user. So, and then we create state, and we call this router object over here, so that we can be able to redirect the user to another page when the user clicks to view the video. We have the state over here, and we have defined two props, one of open share popper, one for opening the share popper, and one for opening the popper. So for instance, we want to show options, and then when we click on the share options, we want to also show a dialog modal for sharing the video to different social media platforms. So over here, this component, since it's accepting the video item, we go ahead and call one of these functions. This function to get our video URL over here. We pass the video ID and the thumbnail. From there, we can be able to get the poster, the preview, and the video ID over here. So, and again, when you are actually implementing a popper on a button, so we have to tell our popper element within MUR which particular element it should target. So this one is just a state for that. And on the action, that is on the options icon, when this is clicked, we want to set the current anchor tag over here to this, and then set the state and open the popper, so that we can be able to see options of like what, save or share. So, and then also this material UI, if you want to also transition, add this transition ID to it. But again, when the user shares a video or bookmark, want to show notification, so we are importing this hook from what, to-pad over here. So see use notification, we have already used it, we are creating an object of it. And then on bookmark, when a bookmark button is clicked, then we first of all go ahead and prevent the default. Then we update the state, we close the popper, and we check if the user has a session. If the session does not exist, the user is not signed in, we ask the user to sign in. But if the user is signed in, then we go ahead and call this our server action of bookmark video. We pass the user and the video. And if the response return is an error, if an error occurs or is successful, we show the message over here. Else in the catch block, we again show the message. So this share too is similar. On share, we do what? We close the popper, and we also do what? We open the popper, we toggle the popper, and then we check if the session exists. If it doesn't exist, we close it. Else we do what? We share the video like that. And over here is just a card. And this card over here, this is the card element. We want a situation when the user clicks on this card, it should redirect the user to what? Router.push. So we use this to navigate to another page. The push should redirect the user to the watch page, and together with the video ID. And on hover, we want to be able, whenever a user hovers over the video card, we want to show a preview of the video. So that's the reason why we say this on mouse enter and on mouse leave and event listeners. So once a user hovers over this, we set it. If the mouse enters, we set it to true, it's over true, and if it is hover to what, to false. And over here, we only display the image of this video. So the poster, first of all, we display the poster if it's not hovered, and if it is hovered, we show the preview URL. And over here, we define some props like the width should be 100%, the height 100% over here, or this box, which should be 200 in height. And then the content over here, we show the avatar of the owner of this video, and from here down here we show the title of the video, and then we show the user, the name of the channel of the user, and the username of this user over here. And over here we show start to show the views for that particular video. And then over here we have the more button that when we click on it, now we should be able to show a pop-up where we can be able to click to save the video or to share the video. And then the pop-up over here, whenever we click on this button of more icon, we want to trigger the pop-up. So once the state, we change the on click over here, we change the state to what? We toggle the state to open, and if it is open, this pop-up element will show. So we show the user choose action, and then we have listed some actions over here. One action is to share the video, and when the user select this option, we go ahead and we set the state to true, and then we open the share pop-up where it will show, or the share dialog where it can be able to show us to share with different social media platforms. And again, if a user, we want to also show what analytics over here. So if the user is the owner of that video, once he clicks on this small icon or options icon, he should be able to see what analytics. And when the user clicks on this, it will redirect the user to the analytics page together with the video ID, so that we can grab the video ID and fetch analytics of the video. So over here we show our share dialog. So we have three things over here: to save, to share, and to watch and analytics. So the save is for bookmarking, and share is for sharing to social media platforms, and over here is to view the video analytics. Then let's create this component known as share dialog. So over here, let's create another component inside this our common known as what? Share dialog.txs file. Under the share dialog, we have actually what? Install a library known as React.js. So let's go ahead and install this library. npm install what? React.js. So React.js is a library that will enable us to share our links to our different social media platforms. And then we import some other components over here from Material UI. And let's go ahead and create this type of video details. So let's navigate over here. We create this type of video details. A video details type is just going to be simple. We are going to extend the video interface over here. Look at the video interface and then add some props. So it's like is to check whether the current user has liked video. It's save is to check whether the current user has saved the video. It's subscribe is to check whether the current user has subscribed the video. Then the total likes of the video, total comment, total bookmarks, and possibly the resolution together with their URL when the user wants to download the video. So we save this and return to what? Let's close this other component so that you won't be confused. So after we have done this, we return to our share dialog over here. So, and when we scroll down over here, this our share dialog is expecting some props of open, type of boolean, is expecting on close. The item will contain what? The ID, the title, and the video ID. So the ID here is the video ID in the database, and the video ID is the video ID from BunnyCDN. So, and on share over here is just a function that when we click on that on share, it will trigger our server action to actually save the video. So we have imported these hooks. This one is from Material UI and this one is from TwoPart, and this one is from what? Material UI again. So, and we are composing the URL of this video so that user can be able to, when we share it on social media platform, they can be able to see a preview of the video. So, and over here we have what? We have generated a code for embedding the video. What if the user wants to embed the content? So that's the reason why we have created this function over here. So, and this function over here is just basically containing a div over here, and the div is just going to be a string, and it contains an iframe that is pointing to our BunnyCDN, so the user can be able to embed this video in their website or on any platform. Whenever a user clicks on copy button, we want to access the navigator, access the clipboard, and write the URL to the clipboard. Then we show the notification like what? Notification like link copy to clipboard, so that user can be able to go and paste this link anywhere. And on handle share is whenever a user clicks on any of these our social media icons, then it will go ahead and trigger share, and it will also close the modal. So this is basically what this thing is doing over here. So on the dialog, when we click on close, we should close the modal, and then over here we show the dialog or title, and we show the icon over here for closing the dialog, and over here is the dialog content, and inside the dialog content, the first icon button that we show over here is the icon button for copying our URL, and this one is for embedding, copying the embed code. And this one over here is where we show different social media icons. And I told you, with the support of this library known as React Share, we can be able to import different kinds of social media platforms over here that we can share our video to. So this is basically what is happening over here. So we have imported share button from React Share and the WhatsApp icon from React Share, and then we're wrapping the whole thing. And this React Share has a kind of generic interface. So it takes the title that you want to show on the social media, the URL you are sharing to social media. So over here we have on click listener that whenever any of these social media icons is clicked to share the video, we will go ahead and log that the video has been shared. So we do the same thing for WhatsApp, for Facebook. So import their respective icons like this. So we have imported their respective icon. So many social media platforms over here. So you can see. You can go ahead and check out the library of React Share and see how you can be able to do it. So this is basically what this share dialog is doing. So after we are done with that share dialog, we can go ahead and import it over here to make use of it in our video card. So we have already explained this our video card. We want to call this video component within our display videos. So let's go ahead and export this video component so that we can be able to use it anywhere. So let's go over here, and here let's export default video card. Yes, just like that. And over here we have imported it at the top. So now we want to fetch. Let me explain this and display video component. We have created a feature over here. Remember at the beginning of this video I told you that we'll be using what? SWR, that is store while revalidate library, for fetching content from our server or from our API. So we are making use of a hook known as use SWR infinite. So it helps us to fetch our data in pagination. So if you want to implement a kind of pagination, fetching the video based on the page size, you can use this SWR infinite. So over here we have to create a feature function. So this feature function is calling our new video stream. So we have props that we want to pass, and the props over here is the limit, the skip, and the cut. So if you check our video stream function, remember it's taking the limit, the skip, the filter, and the cut. We pass any of these prop over here. If we pass any of these prop over here and call this, it should be able to get our content for us. So and the fetcher can be able to throw an error. So we just check if the data exists. If data doesn't exist, an error occurs, then we throw the error. Let's return this. And over here our display video component is expecting what? Videos and the category that we want to fetch the video. So if the category is null, we want to fetch all categories, and if the category is a string, then we know that we want to fetch video based on that particular word category. So over here we have, when you are using SWR infinite, you have to create a function to get a key. So the function will take the page index and the previous data. So in our case over here, we're checking if page index is not equal to 0 and the previous data and not previous data dot length, then we want to return no over here. So but what if category is not null? If category is not null, we want to generate a key over here. So SWR is wise enough that when a key returns null, it will never make a request. So we are actually calling this, we are saying that if a category is presented over here, we have defined the tag to be all video. We have provided a limit, we have provided a skip, and we say the skip over here should be the current page index stands or the page size, and the page size we already defined it over here to be 21 in number. And if category is not presented, we don't want to pass the word. If category is not presented, we don't want to pass the cat in our query string, but if it is available, then we want to pass it in our options. So this is where the actual fetching happens. So when we call this use SWR infinite, it's a hook that is going to return data, error, it's loading, it's validating, mutate, size, and set size. So whenever we want to fetch, maybe we fetch page 1 and want to fetch page 2, we can just call this set size and increment it by 1, and it affects the next page. So that's the reason why it makes data fetching much more easier. So and the use SWR infinite over here is expecting a function get key to get the key for SWR, which is the function we have defined over here. It is expecting a feature. This is an asynchronous function that will fetch the data from a server or database, and we have defined the feature over here. And over here, since we are going to be passing data to this our display video, we have decided to pass this fallback option, and we wanted to keep the previous data. Keep previous data false, because we'll be switching from one category to the other. So we don't want a situation where if the fetching fails, then it will still keep the previous data of the other category. No, we don't want it to keep previous data of the other category. So if you switch to another category and the failing phase, that category doesn't have any video and it throws an error in this feature, we want to actually show that that category does not have any video. So then we provide a fallback option over here, and the fallback is the videos that we fetch from our server and pass to this client component. So but this is going to have, if you are using this SWR, our data is going to be in this format. It is going to be an array of arrays. So this is how our video is going to be. This is the format that our data is going to be, like this. So we need to flatten the data in order to show in our application if our data structure is going to be like this. So that's the reason why we call this data.flat over here to flatten our data, all the arrays. And we have created another variable over here. We're checking if we have reached the end. So if an error occurs or the data that is returned from our API, it is less than the word, it's less than the page size, then we know that we have reached the end. So over here in our JSX, then we check if it is loading. We want to show a cycler progress bar. So we import this from this component from MUI. So if it is loading and video.data.length is equal to 0, then we want to show loading spinner over here. So and if it is not loading and video.data.length is equal to 0, then we want to show this icon over here known as no data yet. So this category doesn't have, so we want to show an image over here, no data. But what if there is data? Then we look through the video data over here and call this our video card that we just created over here. So let me move this to this side. We call our video card over here, and our video card is expecting a prop of item. So if we move over here to the top, you can see our video is expecting a prop of item, which is type of our video. So and then we pass it over here. So and we want to show the load more button if what the video.length is greater than 0 and what video.length is not less than the page size. If it's not less than the page size, then we want to show load more. The user can click to load the next page. So we have imported this button from Material UI. We have passed this loading. It's loading first and disable. If it has reached the end or if it's loading, we want to disable the button to avoid a user clicking multiple times on the button. And over here we say the on click. Whenever a user clicks on it, we increase the size to +1. So if you remember, this and set size is imported from what our use SWR infinite hook. So it is used for incrementing the page size. So the page index, the first time it will be 0, and when you click on 2, when you click on the button, it becomes 1 like that. So if you load more, like 2, 3, 4 onward like that. So we show our load more button over here. So this is basically what this display video is doing. So after our component is done, that is when we now import this, actually make use of it in our home page over here. So we can now go ahead, let's go ahead and actually export this display video component over here, and we paste it. This is the same component we are exporting because we want to make use of it in our home page. So when we come over here in our home page, we can now go ahead and show this. So but it is also expecting this. Let's import it. This component is also expecting category, so it can take null or one. So in order to get our category, we have to access it from our context. We remember the context that we created. So over here we created a context where we store the category. So whenever the category is changed at the top over there, we have to access the category from the context and actually fetch videos based on that category. So this is what we're going to do. So let's make use of it from here, and we call use app context like this. So the use app context is going to return the catch. So once we get the catch, we can now pass it over here like this. And this display video, we get our videos over here and save the videos and the categories and make requests based on the video and the category and display within our application. Wow. So after we are done with this and setup, let's go ahead and save everything. Everything is saved, and then check it out in the browser and see. So when we come over here, you can see that our videos have been fetched. All videos have been fetched, and you will notice our video card. When we go over it, you can see the preview, and when we go over this one too, you can be able to see the preview. And when we click on this icon, you can see save video, share video, and view video analytics. So if we click on save video, it will save our video and give us notification. So you can see bookmark added successfully, and when we click on this share, you see this share dialog that we created over. So you can choose to copy it. So another thing is, okay, now let's try to fetch video based on category. So if you select the category of education, you should be able to fetch videos based on this. So it is not displaying anything here because we have not yet inserted this image. So let's go ahead and then drop the image. I have two images that I want to show, so I'm going to drop the images inside this public directory over here. No data image, no data SVG image, and the not found image. So now our application should be able to show the images respectively. So you can see when data is not found under a particular category to show or no data. So if we switch to technology, it will try to fetch videos on the technology. You can see there is a video on the technology, so you can see it over here. If we click on entertainment, you try to fetch the videos under entertainment. If we click on health and fitness, and there are a lot of other categories that we can be able to click on. So if there is no data, it will just show no data. So how cool is this? So and if you navigate back to all, it will fetch all videos under this. So we have implemented and saving the video, share video to different kinds of social media platforms. So if you click over here, maybe you want to share video on X or on any platform, once you click over here, it will trigger and open the application for us to share the video. Likewise, if on mobile or any platform that we're using this. So since I don't have Twitter accounts over here, it will not open. So even if it is maybe on WhatsApp that you want to share, you can select different kinds of social media applications. So how cool is this? So the next step over here is to actually be able to implement our search over here at the top. Let us be able to actually search videos. If we come back to our project over here in VS Code, let's go ahead and open the search toolbar. And the search toolbar, we already implemented some other functions over here. So let's go ahead and complete the functions. So, and over here, we are importing we have created a state. We have already done this. And we are importing use notification from toolbar so that we can be able to show notification. And we are importing the bounds from Lodash. So over here, instead of importing like this, let's import individual component like this. So we are importing the bounds from the bounds, and we want to debounce the search. So when the user is typing multiple times, and then when the user is typing and he has not stopped, we don't want to make a request to our server to avoid blocking our server with too many requests. So in that case, we debounce our function over here, our search function. So and if the search function is less than 3 characters, we just set the total to 0, search the result to empty, and show a message that type characters. Else we go ahead and do and set the search to true over here. So and we will await, then make the request. So over here, once this thing is done like this, we have to return so that it will abort it won't execute the command again. And over here, we want to create this function of our search video. So let's do that. It's going to be a server action. Open your lib directory. So let's go to lib, go under stream, and we implement our search function over here. So let's first of all, the search videos function is expecting a query, a page, and a limit. So if these ones are not passed, then by default, this will be the values. So then we are going through the video model over here. And remember that on our video model, we created an index. We created an index on our title and description so that it will enable us to search and this to search our models word fast. So, and over here, we say you should rank the word search based on scope. So these are the options that we are passing to this, and then we populate the user. So the user of that particular video. So we can populate the user, the image, the user, and the image to show. And over here we are sorting. So we are sorting based on what the text code that is provided over here. Then we are skipping. So for instance, we have a search term is supposed to return 20 videos. We are going to break it into two. It will return the first step part, and if the user clicks on load more, it will return the second part. So that's the reason why we have to pass this page and limit over here. So and then we limit it based on the limit that we pass. So and then after, if our search term is going to return any data, we calculate we count the total number of documents over it to return the total that search query has returned. Then from there we look through the video and do what? We format the video to actually display within our application. So at the end of the day, we return the video that we have, the search query has returned, and the total document that search query has also returned. So and to use it within our search toolbar over here. So if not result.data, then we can go ahead and say the message. If no data is returned, we can say the message over here, like maybe no result for search query, and then we can show a notification again too. But what if the result is returned? We can go ahead and say the total, access the result and say the total, and also set the search result over here, and also show this message that we have total result over here. So and the other one, this function over here, this on click listing. Now whenever we are searching a function and we click on this, we should be able to close the search modal. So this basically, we have already explained these functions. So whenever the text input or the text field input changes, we want to call this search, but whenever we call this search, we want to debounce our search. So debouncing our search now will delay calling executing the function. So you can see the debounce function that we have created using this React use ref over here, and we pass it to 700 milliseconds. So and this 700 milliseconds now is the time that if the user has not typed within this 700 milliseconds time frame, then the function will not be executed. But if the user keeps typing, then this function will not be called. So irrespective of whether we call the function over here, our search will be debounced. So if you are typing continuously, this function will never be triggered until you stop typing. That is when it will trigger after 700 milliseconds. So this is basically what we're doing. So our search over here, we're going to attach it, pass it to our unchanged listener. So whenever a user is typing, we will actually show this. So and if we come down to this section, this is where we are actually showing our search result. So I'm going to enable this thing now. But then we have not yet created this component. Okay, we have created the component, but it is empty. So, but the component is expecting some props. So let's go ahead and handle this search card. This component is within common. So basically, our search video card is just going to display the result. So it's expecting an item type of video, and it's expecting the search query so that it can be able to show us the highlight of our query. So we imported some other components from React and MUI over here. We have imported this function for generating video URL as well, and we have created a simple function over here, highlight text, so that it can be able to go ahead and add this highlight color over here to our search query. So if we search for the word dance and we're displaying it in the description or title, we want to highlight it to yellow. So this highlight text is the function that we have created. So and we have created props that this component is going to accept. It's going to accept the item, the search query, and the handle click away, so that when we click away, it should be able to close the search modal, the search drop down. So over here, then we have accessed this use router so that we can be able to navigate from one page to another. So when a user clicks on the search item, we want to navigate to maybe the watch page, so that user can be able to view that video. And over here, we call this function and pass the video ID to get the poster and the preview URL search. And basically, this is just a card that is imported from MUI. So this card is similar to our video card. So you can see the same things that we implemented on the video card. They are just similar. And over here, since our site is going to return an array of items, we look through it and we display these items over here. So this is just a single card. And when we look through the items over here, we will cause each single card to display this item. So it will display the card image together with the preview, and it will also display the video details over here. So and the video details over here, when we are displaying the title over here, actually we want to highlight. So for each title that we call, instead of there is another prop on when we are dealing with React, there's a prop known as dangerously set inner HTML. So you can call this prop on any element, and then maybe pass this underscore HTML and the function that you want to call. So this function now, this our highlight function is taking the title and the search query, so that we can be able to highlight the specific search query within our title body. Likewise on the word video description, even the video description we then just reset on this element of typography, and we do what we call this highlight text. And if the description is too long, we want to slice it to 300 characters, and you should also show the highlighted text. So if we search for dance, this function over here, this function word highlight text is going to highlight all the search query within the body. So this is basically what the search video card is doing. So after we are done with everything, we can now go ahead and search it and save everything and preview in the browser and see. Alright, back in our browser, we can now click on this search now. Let's input things like dance and see. So you can see the loading spinner. So there is one video on dance, and you can see our highlighted text over here. And when we hover over the video, you can see the preview of the video over here. Wow, how cool is this? Everything is looking great, and when we click away, that click away listener will listen and close it. So but when it is closing, we want it to save this, to change this to empty this. So when we click outside, and when we click on this, we want it to close. So let's handle that. So we can actually set it on this function, on this pop-up over here, like this. And it's a function, and like this. So let's try it now and see. So if we search for dance, and we click outside, you can see it is empty, the input is empty. So we can search for love, and you can see our love video is suggested with highlighted word query. So this is looking great so far, so good. The next step over here is let's handle this our notification, so that we know that we are done with the top navbar. Let's close these files over here, and then we open our notification server. So our notification server over here is where we're going to implement the logic of fetching our data. So our notification server over here, let's go ahead and replace that, and we're expecting type of word notification. So, and let's create this type. At the top over here, we create our notification interface. So our notification is going to have a message, the kind of notification, which can be comment, reaction, or subscription. It's going to have is seen is read, and it could be a video notification, it could be a comment notification, and we want to know the sender and the recipient. So this is basically the type, our interface for notification here. And the next one over here is to create these two functions for what? These two server actions for getting user notifications and getting user notification start. So let's do that. Go here and go under lib, and let's create another file known as word notification. So notifications are what? TS. So at the top over here, since the server action wants to require what? To use server. So like that. Back here, we are going to actually, first of all, we create this function of get user notification. It's going to expect the user ID, the limit, and the skip. So here we will import the notifications model. Then based on the user, which will be the recipient, we will be fetching the notification, and we'll be sorting it in descending order by created at -1 and the limit and this, and then we populate the recipient and also populate the sender, populate the video, and populate the comment. So the notification can be any of these types. So and it's going to return an array of app notifications. So we can look through it. If it is an image, then we use this function to compose the URL of that image. So that is what basically this get notification is doing. So the get notification starts. We want to get the user's on seen notification and on read notifications. So basically it's going to accept the user's ID and count the document, the total number of unseen notifications and the total number of unread notifications. So we based on the user ID. And then again, the user may like to, whenever a user clicks on that notification icon, we want to go ahead and update the user's notification and change maybe is seen to true or is read to true. So let's import this mongoose over here at the top. So based on user ID and the notification ID, if the notification ID is not specified, we know that we want to update all notification. So if the user has 10 notifications and it is showing on the notification badge and he clicks on that view over, they want to set the is seen to true, so that when the user clicks on maybe to view the notification, then we can set is read to true. So for now, when the notification ID is not present, we know that we want to update many. But if notification ID is presented within our ads, then we know that we want to update a single notification. So this is basically what these functions are doing. So back in our notifications, this stuff should work now. So there is no more error. So first of all, we are accessing the session of this user over here, and we are setting by default that the start should be 0. So we go over here. Now we call our notification. So we can be able to execute all these functions in parallel to save our time, since they do not depend on each other. So all we just have to do is to call to maybe like this one, catch, get notifications catched. So since this function is going to be frequently called, we have to catch it using React. So let's import the function catch from React. So catch from React like this, and then we will wrap the whole of our function like this. So and this is exactly what we're going to return, but we want to pass the user ID. So let's pass the user ID as string over here. So and once we remove this one over here. like this, and the notification can return what? If notification.data, then it should return what? It should return result.data. Else it should return empty array. As you say, there's no notifications. And we create another function for getting the stats. So down here, get notifications start cached. So this one we call this get user notification start over here, like this one. We'll pass it over here, and this one too is expecting. This one is not expecting props, so this one is basically expecting the user ID. So and it's going to return a result, and we'll say if it is the data over here, so or else it will return what? We can set this stuff over here, so we can pass it like this and call it const. So this will be our default start. If no start is returned, what to return what? This empty, this 0, total on C and total on read as 0. So we can now go ahead, since we have these functions available. Since we have these functions available over here, we can check over here at the top if a user is not logged in. So if not session, then we want to just go ahead and return what? Return null. So if there is no user over here, we want to return null. But what if there is user? So instead of having this try and catch block, we want to execute this in parallel. So we can just say const what? Let's open array like that, and we say await what? Promise.all, and it's going to accept an array of functions. So the functions over here, the first one will pass our what? Our notification start. So like this, and our notification start will be the user ID. So and the notification start will take user ID, and this one will take user ID like this. So but our user ID, since we know that a session must be provided, all we just need to do is to create a variable over here known as username is equal to the string. Then from here we can pass it like this. So we can now safely remove all of this. So and we are expecting what? Data. So over here, the first function that we pass is a start. So we can type the name word start over here, and we can type our data. So all what this thing is doing is we can remove this one here so that the error is gone. So if we hover over it now, you see that it's returning the same type, and if we hover over this data now, what is going to be returned over here is what? The notification. So like this, and we have introduced cache. Our function will be what? Cache. If it is called repeatedly, it will be returned from the cache before the cache will expire. So over here, this is basically how we are going to implement this our notification server. So you can see our notification server calls our notification container. So let's go inside and see what is happening over here. So we have our feature over here, and this our feature we can wrap it in a catch. So we can call what? Catch from what? React, so that we can catch this function. So let's paste it like this, and it's expecting an argument. That is fine, and we have to actually make a request, the same thing that we have done over here. So on this notification server, the same thing that we have fetched over here, we can replicate the same thing over here. So but this one is actually fetching what? It's fetching the start. So let's copy this stuff over here, the same thing that we have done over here, and take it to our container like this. So and we import this get notification start from what? Our string, and the ID over here is going to be the user ID. So this is what our feature is doing. So our feature at the end of the day is going to return a notification start, which notification this notification container is passing start, and it's taking start as props, and it's taking data as props. So fallback data will be start. So if as it is actually validating or revalidating our data, this stats will actually show. So we go ahead and do what? Access this. But what if a user clicks on this our pop-up notification icon? We want to actually update the notifications, right, in the database, the function that we created in the stream over here, to update users notification, to turn what is red is what is seen to what? True, so that we won't show the red notification badge. So we can now enable this function over here. So and this function over here, we have to create it within this file. All right, so over here, let's create this handle on scene notification. So we are going to import this update user notification from there. So first of all, we check the user is not present, and if total word notice start is not equal to 0, that is when we now update, call this our server action to update the user notification. So and we can now go ahead and enable it over here. So everything is set. So we can save everything over here. So you can see we are importing our notifications clients here. So but within this notification client, we are returning just notification. We want to actually show these notification items. Our notification client component over here is going to have a feature, and then this feature we can actually cache the function over here using React, and we can paste it like this. We are calling this what? Get user notifications. We have already implemented this. It's just simply to get users notification. So it's going to pass prop of time of limit, all this thing, and we are making use of SWR. So the same thing that we did in video fetching is the same thing that we are doing over here. So we are accessing the user session, and we are creating a function get key, so that it can be able to get key for our use are infinite because we could have so many notifications that we want to paginate them. So we are calling this infinite over here, and then we are passing this our items, this our notification items that is coming from our notifications container over here as the fallback data, so that we can be able to show items while the data is revalidated in the world in the background. So and then the same way we handle the video, we go ahead, since it's going to return, if you hover over this if you hover over this data, you can see it's going to return an array of arrays. So we have to flatten the data by calling this function flat the data.flat, and we flatten the data. So we also check if it is reaching end, the same thing that we did in video fetching. And if there is no data, we can go ahead and show no cycler progress bar if it is loading, and if there is no data, we can go ahead and show no data. And else over here, we also we have notification card that we need to create, and we also have a load more button over here to show we want to load more notifications. So let's handle this notifications card. So our notifications card is empty over here. Under our notifications card, we are accepting the notification item of type app notification, and we are getting the video info over here. So and we have imported paper component from material UI, and we go ahead and show the sender's name, show the sender's avatar, and the image of the sender. And if the notification is type of comment, we can say user commented, maybe John commented. If it is like, we can say John reacted with love to your video. If the notification is type of react, and then depending on the kind of the notification, we should be able to shorten the content of the notification. So if the content of the notification is too long, we create this function like shorten text to actually shorten the notification. And then over here, the notification media, we go ahead and do and display the poster or that video that the user has commented on. So let's create this function of shorten text. So open your UTs directory. So our UTs function over here, we want to create the function or shorten text. So the function shorten text wants to take text of string. So and it's going to take the limit that we want to shorten. So if the text is less than the limit, we return the text, else we slice the text based on the limit that is provided. So it's just to shorten the text, just like that. And everything is good. And we have imported the notification card over here, and then we imported the notification client over here, and we imported the notification server over here. So this is how you can be able to split your application into several components, be it client or server component within Node.js, and at the end of the day, put everything together to achieve your desired effect. So when we come back over here, you will not notice anything, but for now there is no notification for this user, so you can see no data over here, and everything looks great. Wow. So we are done with the top with the navigation bar over here. So the next step over here is to work on these pages. So these pages are similar to these pages that I worked over here, like fetching the subscription. We work on this page before we come back and work on actually when we click on the video, we should be able to watch the video details. So I want us to work on all of these components. We already worked on create video over here, and we are worked on this dashboard. We can be able to fetch the content of the videos based on the categories or and then we can also search over here based on any query that we pass, so like love and all these things, and our query is debounced. So then let's work on this subscriptions page. In order to create subscription page, let's go ahead inside this directory. Let's create a subscription over here, subscriptions, so like that. And within it we have to create a page component. So and within it we have this, and we have to also create a page client. So let's create this page client component .txs like this, and let's just export a dummy content over here. And then within this we need to actually create this subscribe videos stream function. So let's handle this. Below here we will actually implement fetch subscribe videos. So fetch subscribe videos we are going to fetch videos that from channels that the user has subscribed to. So first of all, from user, so we will check all the channels that the user has subscribed to and fetch all the videos. So and then first of all, we will connect the database and then call subscription model, and then we use aggregate function of MongoDB. So over here we use aggregate function, and then we match where from user is equal to the new MongoDB.types.object ID from user. So from user, the current user, now we convert this into an object ID, and then we look up videos, and we look up to, and the foreign field to as video. So we are fetching all videos from subscription, where the from user ID is equal to the current user ID. So and then we unwind videos, we look up users, because we want to fetch the user's details, we're the owner of the video details, and then we unwind user details, and then we return some props over here. And from there we replace the root of the videos as this, and we sort it by descending, and we can apply the skip and the limit that we pass here as options. That's what we're basically doing. So from there we grab the videos and then format the video. We already created this function that we have been using, and then since all the users that we have fetched from our database, we want to also fetch them from BunnyCDN. We will map through each of these videos and fetch them in parallel. So we send this request to BunnyCDN, we return the result from there back to our application. So back here in our page client application, we will accept the video So we call this function, we create a cache version of this function over here, so that I can be able to catch the function whenever we make request to this particular page. So if you are visiting the page frequently, it will catch and return data from the cache store for us. So first of all, we check if a user is not currently signed in. We don't want the user to access this page, so we redirect the user to the root of the application. Else we call this video over here. So let's handle this page client. So the page client is going to be a simple component that we call display videos, and it's going to take videos and the user ID over here and call display videos. So the display video, we want every page over here to have its own display videos, because we are going to be fetching this video client side as well. So let's create this component known as and display videos. So display videos.tss, let's implement it. So over here, basically we are using the display videos that we have used to fetch our videos over there. It's just that for every display video component over here, there is a unique function. You can see over here we are using the same fetch subscribe videos function that we use in the page over here. I want to return a cache version of it first. If it is called frequently, we want to return the cache version of it. So we fetch the videos, and if there's any error, we throw. And we go ahead and create a key for using use SWR infinite. So we want it to keep the previous data. We can pass it here true, not false. Here it will not be viewed based on categories, so we can keep previous data true over here, and then we pass the data that we're receiving from the server over here. We fetch the video over here, pass to our page client. Client calls our video component and pass it to our video over here. So and then we flatten the data, since it's going to be an array of arrays. We have already done this, and we create a function of its reaching end. So if there is no data, if it is loading, we want to show a cycler progress bar. If there's no data, we want to show this card image of no data, and then we want to also map through the video and call the video card. The video card that we created, we're going to reuse it over here and display the video. We also want to show the button of load more when there is more data to load. So like this one here, we can pass the page size to be 21. So if you're passing the page size to be 21 on the server 2, it will be 21. So we can save everything over here. So the same thing that we have already done for this, if we come back over here, there is bookmark. So the same thing that we have done for subscription, we can also do it for bookmark. So let's create a bookmark. We can copy this and paste it, because the pages look similar. So let's rename it to bookmarks like this, and the bookmarks over here, instead of fetching subscribe videos, we are going to fetch bookmarked videos. So let's do that. Before we handle this bookmarking of videos, let's go to our stream over here and implement some of these functions. So if we go over here, you can see we have implemented subscription, but we are left with bookmarks, favorite, history, trending, and my video. So let's implement these functions. So if we come to stream over here, the server actions, then we can implement all of these methods, so that we can just call them on the client side. So like on the bookmark over here, the function is not different from these face subscribe videos. All we just have to replace is the video bookmark model. So the video bookmark model is the only thing that we need to replace over here. So every other thing remains the same as subscribed. And the favorite video model also is the only thing that we need to replace is the favorite our video favorite model. So that is video favorite model. That's the only thing that we need to replace. As the function is the same. Every other thing remains the same with subscribe function. So and over here, the view history model as well. All we just need to replace is the video history model over here. So I guess we have not yet created this model. So let's go ahead and then go to models. Do we have video history? Okay, we have video history model. So okay, I call it history. So let's rename it to history like this. So that is the only thing that we need to import. So we need to import the history model like this. Every other thing remains the same with the subscription model. So every other thing remains the same. And then the user video. So this one is just basically fetching the current user's video. So based on the user's ID, we go inside the video model, we fetch, we sort, and then we populate. Then after that, we return the video with format, and then we make a request to our BunnyCDN to fetch all these videos in parallel. So and then we filter out videos that return null from BunnyCDN. That's basically what this function is doing. So after we have done with this, we can come back over here under the bookmark model. We can come back over here and fetch, instead of fetch subscription under bookmark, it should be fetch our bookmark videos. So this is the only thing that is going to change over here. And when we go inside the page client, nothing is going to change over here, but in the display video, we are going to call this one, change the key type over here to bookmarks. And over here at the top, instead of fetching subscribe videos, we are going to fetch bookmark videos. So this is it over here for marking our videos. What else do we need to change? Another thing over here is to work on favorites and our favorite videos. So it is just the same. Let me save all this and then close these pages. So our favorites is the same thing as our bookmark. So we just copy it and rename this file over here to favorites. So and within the functions, instead of fetching bookmark videos, we fetch fetch favorite videos like that. That's the only thing that we need to replace over here, and every other thing remains the same. And when we go to display videos over here, we need to change this type, the key over here to what, to favorite, because we want the keys to be unique. If the keys are the same, it will be returning what, the same store data from other workplaces. So over here, instead of Facebook mark, we'll be fetching what, favorited what, videos. So the reason why we change this key over here, you can see the structure of this thing is similar to other ones. So if there is no unique input, since the data is cached, if there is no unique type over here, it will return the data from maybe model. It will return, when you access subscription, it will return the data of bookmark, and when you access bookmark, maybe it will return the data of subscription. So that's the reason why we have to keep a particular key that is unique to this structure, since the structure looks what, similar. So we can save everything for this one over here, and we can, the next one that we need to work on is the history. So our view history, and our view history is still similar to what, bookmarks. So let's just let's copy that, paste the bookmark, and rename it to what, to history. So to history over here, and the history over here, we need to what, to fetch history movies, to fetch history. Let's see, to fetch video view history. So just like this, that is the function from our server action. It's our server action function, and the implementation is similar. And we go to display video over here, and we change this bookmark key to what, to history. And over here, this is our fetcher. Also, we are fetching what, history, view history videos. So this is basically what we're doing. The rest of the things are the same over here, and we can save for now. Another thing is we want to work on what, on trending videos. So let's create a file over here known as, let's create a directory known as what, trending. And within the trending, we need to have a page.tss file, and we also need to have what, we need to have a page client.tss. We need to also have a component of display videos. So here, display what, videos dot what, tss. So but then we need to implement a special function for getting what, trending videos from what, from our BunnyCDN API. So let's go into lib over here and go to Bunny over here, and we want to get our video list. So let's implement this function over here, and this function is going to take the page, the items page, and what, the order by. So we want to order by views like that, and we'll access the word, the BunnyCDN. Then we pass the access key. Since we're accessing the string from BunnyCDN, the string feature, we will actually what, pass the Bunny string as the Bunny string key as the access key. So we check if everything is all right, and then we go ahead. After we fetch the videos from BunnyCDN, we want to actually get the title and the description from our database. So for each video over here, we will map through it and get the title from our database, and then we format the videos with the function that we created, and we specify the type that our videos are going to return. So this is basically what this fetch word stream video list is doing. So once we come back to, let me close these other pages. So open this trending page.tss file, and over here we basically need to just do something. So all we just need to do is we have created a cache. We call this fetch stream video list, and this trending video is not going to be based on any user ID. So we are just going to call this function like this, and then code our page client. So our page client is going to look similar to this one over here. So we can copy the content of this one and take it to what, and take it over here and paste it here like this. If you open this, our display video is going to be quite different from our other examples. So first of all, it is the function over here we change to stream video list, our feature over here, and our key that is going to be generated, that is going to be what, trending, and the items per page. We have decided to change the key number to items per page, which will be equal to the page size, this number that we specify, and the page over here will always be what, equal to what, the page index plus what, 1. So if you continue, if you load more, it will always be page index what, plus 1. So every other thing will remain the same. So we are not expecting any user ID over here on the top. So we don't need this. And when we go back over here, we don't need user ID as a prop over here. We don't need this as well. So, and we don't need this prop over here. So I guess everything is all right now. So over here again, what is the next component is our videos. So let's create that component. Let's create this the videos route. So videos. So here it will show the current users videos. So the first file over here is page.tss file that we'll be creating. So this one is going to be quite different. We are first of all going to access to get the public user, to fetch the user, and we are going to also fetch the user videos. So we want to catch all of these functions. So first of all, let's go to server actions and create this fetch public user. So when we come under actions over here, let's create another file known as what, users.tss. So the user.tss file, now we are going to implement fetching user details and updating user. So over here we will create a function fetch public user based on filter. Maybe it could be based on user ID or based on what, based on username or email over here. So we call the user model, we access we check. So we created some instance method on the user model for getting user subscribers and getting user videos. So if you go to model over here, these instance methods that we created, like get user total videos and get user subscribers, are the functions that we call over here when we find this user. So and then we call user.json so that I can format our data properly. After we are done with this, we go ahead and create a data forward, create compose and a user object for returning our user. And then over here we do what when the user wants to update his bio, of which we'll be doing that in a jiffy, then we can actually call user model, find the user and update the user's bio. This other one is to get the current user. So get current user from the API. So from there it is making use of a function. So we can actually import this use type. Since we don't have it yet, we can go ahead and create this type. So go to types over here, and our type of app user is going to be simple. And then over here, this is just going to take the ID, the name, the total videos like this. So it is the type that we'll be returning here. Where is it used? Let's find it. That is the type of user over here. We also have this function compose user. So let's create a function. So let's open utils function, and our function compose user is going to be a simple function, and it is only going to take user of any and compose user and return a user object over here. So as simple as this. So let's import this session from Next.js. So and then we access the user is the kind of user that is going to return from this session. So basically this is what this our users action, server action is doing. So some functions over here that I return. So over here we can now go ahead and return this. I guess the arrow should be gone, and we have to create a top section for actually displaying our users thumbnail and banner. So at the top over here, let's create another component known as top section. So top section.tss. After that, we have to create for displaying users video. We have to create another one known as page client.tss. We have to create another component known as display videos for actually displaying the user videos .tss. So let's work on this top client. So the top section component is going to be a client component, and it's going to import. We have importing avatar box and media from material UI, and it is going to have same type of app user over here. So we check if a user has a banner. Then if the user does not have a banner, we just show a background of paper. But if a user has a banner and has an image, a banner, we are going to go ahead and display the banner over here. Here, if the user has an avatar, we are going to display the user avatar. Then we show the user's username over here, and over here we show the user's total subscribers and total videos over here, just like this. Then finally we show the user's bio. So this is what this top section is all about. Our page client over here is similar to the other page client that we'll be doing. So it's just going to display the user's video based on this user. So over here, let's work on this page client. Display videos. So the display videos is just simple, just like other previous ones. We just have to check the type over here to the video and specify the size, the skip, and the user ID that we want to fetch his videos. So we have our own fetcher function over here, and this fetcher function is fetching our user video. The server action function that we just created. So it pass the args and pass the argument over here, the options to fetch the user video, and then return the video on display. So this is basically the same with our other component. We are just copying and editing it to our need. So after this, we can save everything and try to check it out. So the next step over here is actually to work on this feedback and settings function. So but before that, if we navigate to subscriptions now, we should be able to see all user subscribe videos. But since we have not yet subscribed to any video, until maybe when we add more users to the application, the subscription video will return empty. Likewise the bookmark and the video, but all these pages now we can be able to navigate to them. So and let's work on this help. You can see under bookmark, I have bookmarked one video, and you can see my bookmark over here. So before that, let's work on helper, feedback, and settings pages. Let's close all these pages. The help page is just going to be a client component over here. So let's create help route, and inside it we're just going to create a single page, a page.tss file, and in the page.tss file we just paste this. We are just using an accordion from MUI. So we just have typography over here, our container, and max width of large. We have our typography to show that it's F-center, and then we also have our typography over here to show users to find answers, and then we have our accordion so that users can be able to collapse the accordion. So we have different sections over here, and this is basically all about the help page. The next page over here that we want to create is the feedback page. So the feedback page over here, let's create another directory known as feedback, and inside it we have a page.tss file. And our page.tss file is just going to be a client component over here, and we are going to create a function known as use feedback. So it's just going to be a client component, and it will what? It will create, we have a state of rating and what comment over here, and we access the current section. We also what use make use of use dialog from what? From toolpad over here. So these are custom hooks that we can be able to make use of. So, and the handle, when somebody clicks on submit feedback, we want to actually check if what the rating is provided and the comment is provided. From there, we can now go ahead and call this our server action on send feedback to save the user's feedback in the database. So this is basically what this handle submit function is doing. If there's any error, we will go ahead and show the error. And the next step over here is just to display a form. So we have our own typography, and then we have created an MUI form, and within this we have our ratings component. So the ratings component is imported from what? Material UI. We want to show the rating. And over here we have specified what? The value. If the value changes, it should be what? It should be, the state should update accordingly. We also have the text field over here, and we have indicated that it should be multi-line so that we can be able to have a kind of text area like form over here. And then we simply have a button where we call the submit button for actually submitting our feedback. But we have to create this function known as send feedback. So let's open our library. Let's open the library and then create another file over here known as feedback.ts file. So this one is not user.tss, it's actually user.ts. So let's rename this. It's not a JSS component. So, and then inside the feedback, we implement the function of sending feedback or sending feedback in the database here. So like in one server action, we have to indicate was use server at the top. We have to import the fetch data to the feedback model, and we have to connect our Mongoose database over here, and then simply call the fetch model of create and save and return the response. As simple as that. So these are some of the few pages over here that we are going to display within our app. So if we come back over here on our app, we should be able to actually navigate to help page and also navigate to the feedback page. So let's see what the help page will show. So this is our help page, and it has accordion for showing our help, maybe how to watch video, how to upload, and troubleshooting issues. So let's check our feedback. So this is our feedback component over here. So we can go ahead and give our rating and say this is the best streaming app so far. So, and if you click on submit, you can see our feedback is sent successfully, and we see this modal. So our feedback was saved in the database, just like that. The next page that we need to work on is the settings page, where we can be able to configure our player setting, update our bio. Under dashboards, let's go ahead and create another route known as settings. So, and under the settings, we create page.txs file, and within it, our settings is just going to be simple. We are going to access. We need two components or three components. We need the player settings component, the studio settings component, and we also need the update user component. So let's drop it over here. We create this component in Jiffy. And we need to actually access, this is a server component, we need to check the session of the current user. So if the user is not logged in, we redirect the user back to the index page. But if the user is logged in, we can now go ahead and fetch the public user and pass the data to update user page. So let's go ahead and create this component. So you can see the components are imported from our component / common directory. So we have to create this component over here. So first of all, create the page known as setting.tss, and then we have to create studio settings.tss. So let's go back here and we create another one under common known as studio settings.tss, and within we have to create another component known as update user. So still within common, update user.txs. So after we have created these components over here, we have to export them so that we can import them in our settings page. So let's go over here, open the index page under common, and then export this component over here. So let's copy up to 3 times and then replace these ones. So we cut it like this and replace this one, replace it over here. We cut this one too and replace it over here. We cut this one too and replace it over here. So let's go ahead and work on the component. So like the player settings component, let's open the file and work on it. Look at the file over here. The player settings component is just going to be a simple client component, and we are going to access the use app state. So remember the settings that we configure in our app context. I wanted to set the player settings. So if you hover over it, you will see the kind of state. So if for instance I try to access setting app dot, so I want to say things like autoplay, loop, muted, and preload. So the user should be able to configure all these things, and when the user configures his own settings, we save in the cookies, and whenever he visits our site, we access the cookies. If it doesn't exist, we use the default settings. So over here we have just created a form with a switch for toggling our settings. So whenever a user toggles a setting, we go ahead and call this update method from our use context. We created the method over here. Look at the method for updating here, saving the user setting in the cookie. And this is basically all about it. So just basically we display this in the grid layout, and it is going to show different switch for what to play, reload, mutate, loop, and different kinds of player settings. So this is basically what this player settings is all about. The next one over here is the studio settings. So the studio settings is just like the page that will be able to update our bio. So within the studio settings, we need to actually import this function from Bunny. So from actions slash Bunny. So let's create this function. So let's go to our Bunny file server actions over here, and then we create this function upload user file. So we may like to change the banner or to change the image. So depending on the kind of file that we want to upload, we will make use of it over here. So and we don't want to, like this one over here, we have to configure the storage host name. So let's do that. So the storage host name, let's go at the top over here, and we want to check if we have a storage region. The region is going to have a name, but if it doesn't have a name, we go ahead and use our storage based host name. So this is what we are doing practically what we are doing over here. So let me see where I've used this. So over here shouldn't be storage based name, but it's Bunny storage host name, and over here too shouldn't be the base name, but the host name. And down over here in our file, we are also making use of it here. So, and we import a user model after we have uploaded the file to Bunny storage over here. If you upload the file, be it banner or our avatar, then we check if there is no any error. We update our model with the word. We update the user model with the name of the banner and the name of the banner. So that is practically what we are doing, either the name of the banner or the name of the avatar. So if we have any existing banner or avatar, we go ahead and make request to our server to delete that existing file. So this is practically what this is doing. Then at the end of the day, it will return the file URL, the file name, and the user name. So this is basically what this upload user file is doing. It's just similar to how we are changing our video thumbnail. So this is what our studio is all about. So we have created a local state, a file and a banner file, the banner URL, photo URL, whether any of this is processing or loading. So we will use processing for tracking whether we are changing avatar, and we use loading for tracking whether we are changing banner, whichever one that you use. So we import this use notification hook from TwoPad, and we have created two use ref over here so that we can be able to hide our file input but trigger it when we click on the upload banner file button. So we have created a state over here based on this our local state that we have defined over here, and we have created handle file upload. And whenever a user wants to upload the file or change the file, we want to know the kind of file that the user wants to change. So be it a banner or be it an avatar. So and then we set the state over here respectively. So that we can be able to also show the preview of that. So you can see this function of image file to base64. So when we select an image, we want to generate a URL where we can be able to preview the file. So be it banner that we selected or be it an avatar, we generate the URL and assign it here accordingly. So this is basically what it's doing. So we have our box over here, our box element. We have defined our input, but then we hide our input by default by passing this attribute hidden. But when we click on this div, it's going to show our border like this. Then we trigger the file over here. So we use this ref over here to trigger the file to open for us to select a file. And we may want to accept the kind of file. So let's pass this accept, and we may want to accept only images over here. And this one is for actually changing our banner. What if we want to change our avatar? So if we want to change our avatar here under this section of change photo, this is the same thing that we have done. Just like banner, we can be able to change our avatar. So this is the same thing that we did when we are actually uploading video to BunnyCDN under the create function. So everything here is the same, is similar. So and every other thing. So after we are done with this, we need to actually work on this updating user. So this way we can be able to update our bio. So our update user is going to be a simple function, and then it's going to import some components from Material UI. We are also going to make use of some hook from TwoPad and use session from Next.js to access the currently logged in user session. So and we have created a simple schema for validating the bio and the username over here. We have created a local state for holding just bio, since it's only bio that we're updating, and we have also created a session. We are importing this session from React. If you are importing it from React, it could be different. But let's go ahead and import this one from use TwoPad. So use session over here, and it's similar to this one. So if you are using this one, we don't have to bother about that one. So let's go ahead and pass this section like this. So let's type session here, and everything remains the same. So on bio change, so we want to pass this function. Then we have created a submit function over here, and this submit function is going to call our schema over here and validate if our payload is correct, if we don't have empty bio, and if user ID is present. And then if it is that, we set this loading to true, and then we go ahead and call this our server action function over here, and it will connect to our database and simply update the user's bio based on the user. So this is coming from user over here, server actions. So this is basically what this function is doing. If there is any error, we will show the error. And over here we display just a simple form, and we pass the attribute of multi-line so that it can show the text area like a kind of thing. So, and when we are typing and we hit submit, we hit enter key, we want to go ahead and submit, and we have also specified that the limit of our bio should only be 250 characters. So, and then we have our own submit button over here, and we say if it is, the state is loading, the button should be loading, and if it is processing, which is loading, the state of the button should be disabled. So this is basically our settings page, what our settings page is all about. So we have imported all of these components within our settings page over here under the dashboard. So this is the update user bio, the player settings, the studio settings. So we can save everything and we'll review it in the browser. So if we click on these settings over here and under the settings, you should see this is the section for updating our bio, and this is the section for updating for setting our player. So if for instance I click on this and loop, I want all my videos to loop, I want all my videos to be muted, and I navigate away from this page. So if for instance I hit enter over there, and then maybe I navigate back to settings page, you will see it has picked the default settings, so it has saved it in my cookie. So if for instance I go over here, let me close these other tabs, let me inspect this so that we can check our cookies. So if we go to the browser over here and go under applications and go under cookies, you should be able to see this key that we set over here, this this our visual word player settings. So, and the data is converting to a string and saved over there. So that is the cookie. So, and then we can be able to update our bio over here. So, and we can be able to also update the banner. So we can click on this over here to select the banner from our file over here on update. But let's just change it to date added so that we can be able to select a good looking banner. So like this banner over here, we can select it, and you can see when it's uploading, the image is uploaded successfully. And if you check our MongoDB now, we should have an avatar. Let's do that. Over here in our compass, MongoDB compass, if you click on users, I guess we so far have 2 users, and the name of this user, you can see over here, this user has updated his own avatar. You can see the image over here that is saved. So this is the image that is also updated. I can update my banner too. Alright, our banner 2 we can be able to update. So let's just click on this and we can select maybe banner 1 over here, and you can see when it's uploading, you see that, and our banner is uploaded successfully. Wow, this is so fast. We can be able to update our bio as well. So let's just copy this, let's paste this, and or type anything over here and click on save. So you can see our bio is updated successfully, the notification over there. So now we should be able to, if we navigate to view to my videos, now you should be able to see your bio together with your avatar and banner. So you can see our banner over here together with our avatar. So everything is looking great together with our videos, and the description you can see we have 0 subscribers and 2 videos so far. Before we proceed to the next stage, let me refresh the page over here, and you will notice that there's a loader, but actually our videos are supposed to display. So let's go back, navigate over here, and in our page.tss, inside this dashboard directory, in our page.tss file, you can see over here that we have not actually fetching the videos from the server. So let's go ahead and create a function over here that we can get the videos from the server and pass to our client component. So let's call this function get videos, and we are going to put it inside React catch function over here, and this function is going to be an async function that is going to we are going to try to fetch the video. So in order to get videos, we say const result is equal to await get video streams. So like this. So we can specify it's an async function. This we can specify the props, or we can leave it as empty object over here. So to get the default, so let's check if there is, let me see, get video streams, and we can specify the limit of maybe 21, and what else, skip of 0, so, and leave it like that. So let's check, we will return if result or data or empty array. So this should be able to cache our function. So from there, when we come down to this point over here, instead of that, we can just simply call the function like this, get the videos, and then pass to our component. So if we go back to the browser now, we are fetching the video from the server and passing it down to our client component over here. So if we go back to the browser now and refresh the page, there will always be videos over here before the revalidation happens. So we can navigate from one page to another, and everything looks great. We can go to settings page as well, and we can be able to update our bio, updates the banner, update our avatar, and all the like. So everything is looking great so far, so good. But over here, you can see that when we hover over this user over here and we click on this user, we want to be able to visit the user's profile and see the user's video. So let's go ahead and work on this page. So back here in our VS Code, we need to actually create another route known as we want to add is at username. So we grab the user's username and fetch the videos under that particular channel of the user. So let's create another file over here known as page or TSS, and it is just going to be like other pages as well. So this page is going to be similar to the way we have worked on this my videos. It's going to have a top section and all the like. So all I will say is that let's copy some of these components over here. So just highlight this component and copy them to the user's page. So it's going to be similar. So let's go over here and paste. So it's going to be similar. So but over here now, when the user comes, we want to actually access the user's username in the URL. So if we click on this and we try to navigate, you will see the user's username in the URL over here. Oh, it is actually displaying this page that we chose it. But this is based on the current user. We have to grab this username over here and fetch the video based on this username. So let's do that. Over here we can just pass call a param over here, and this params over here is going to be username and the type is going to be string. So but it has to be a promise over here. It's going to be a promise over here. So we first of all await this user. We don't need to check for auth over here because the user may not be logged in, but we still wish to view the user's videos or the user's profile. So over here we grab the username, but then this username is having a string over here when we navigate. So if for instance we go ahead and then we console log, let me return null and let me just return null for now and try to visit this page. So I'll console log this username over here so that we see. So let's go back over here and see what will happen. Inspect the page. If you inspect the page and you check the logs over here, let's see what is happening. Okay, it is actually on the server. So if it is on the server, we should be able to see the username over here. So the username is actually what take 45, but I don't know what is wrong. Let me see. Oh, I've added art over here. So let me just go ahead and remove this art. Let's log this username and see. So if we log it and we check our log, you can see the username over here on the server that's logged on the server. But since we are using art in the URL, you can see this string over here. So we need to actually split this username based on this and grab the username. So over here, we can just say const underscore username is equal to username.split, and we are splitting based on what? Based on this string over here. So we split and we grab the username. So if we split based on this art and we grab the username and the username does not exist, we want to go ahead and to redirect the user back to the home page. So let's call this redirect function over here, pass URL like that. But if the username do exist, we now want to fetch videos based on this username. First of all, let's create two cache function. Okay, we already have two cache function over here. One for getting the user and the other one for fetching videos. So down here, let's say const user is equal to await fetch public user, and we are fetching public user here based on what? We are fetching the user here. It should be based on username. So instead of specifying underscore ID over here, we are going to specify username like this, and we will be passing the username as a string over here to get the user. So remember that we can be able to get the user based on any filter that we specify. So we get the public user over here. So and once we get the public user, we want to go ahead and fetch this user's video. So over here, down here, we can now go ahead and say const videos is equal to what? Await, and then we get user video based on what? User.id like this. So from there, let's uncomment this. We can now go ahead and return this component. So we have our user and our video available right now. So we can uncomment this and then pass the user. So and the user ID over here that will be passing the user.id. So that will be the user that we're trying to view their profile. So now when we click on any user, we should be able to view the user's videos. So now we are calling this the top section will show the user's video, the user details, and then we have the client section, which will show the user's video, user that we are currently viewing their profile. So let's go ahead and save this and try it out in the browser and see.